Hey, what's wrong? What's got you so down?
It's a storm, man. All week we've been seeing clouds and rain, and it's really messing with my mood.
I don't know what you're talking about. I love the rain. May not be the brightest time of the year, but the colder it gets, the warmer the hugs.
And the harder it is to get out of bed.
But don't you just love the feeling, wrapping yourself into a burrito blanket and, drinking hot cocoa?
Yeah, but the terrible smell of rain and concrete and the fact that you can't go anywhere without getting wet, it just makes raining days all that much horrible.
You know what? I don't know what you're talking about. Getting soaked is the best part.
I really miss the summer.
Well, luckily for you, it's on its way. And unluckily for me, it's on its way.
Yeah, whatever. Can we just get the show finished?
Fine. I'm Ethan, and he's...
Oh, my bad. I try to be cheerful. And I'm Adam.
And welcome to Show 20. If you enjoy our weekly shows, live streams, or even just have interest in journalism or content creation, you might be interested in joining our crew, Apache News. Luckily for you, our applications are now open. There is a mandatory informational meeting on March 9th at lunch in A102. Scan the QR code below to access the application form. Hope to see you guys there.
In the past week, the San Gabriel Valley experienced unprecedented storms, frequent flood alerts, and a surprising blizzard warning. While many people are enjoying this rare weather in California, the severe conditions have also created challenges. For more about this, let's head to Joziah.
Thanks, Anchors. California is known for its sunny and warm weather, but recently, it's been experiencing an unexpected turn of events. In the past week, the city has been hit by a severe blizzard. While many people were enjoying the rare snowfall and hard rain, the severe conditions created challenges for residents and emergency responders, causing major disruptions to transportation, power outages, and property damage. With snowfall as low as 1,000 feet, residents woke up to the sight of snow covering the streets, and many were unprepared for the cold weather. In addition to the blizzard, some parts of California have also been hit by heavy rain, causing severe flooding and road closures. The National Weather Service has issued flood warnings for several areas, urging residents to take precautions and stay safe. Now, although it's very easy for us to just go inside and read a good book, very few of us recognize that there are people who are strongly affected by this. The harsh rain and extremely cold temperatures have had a very severe impact on the homeless people. And without any warmth and shelter, this has created a challenge.
Well, being in my position, it's affected me as far as, being cold, like just my clothes and things like that, because sometimes it's hard to find shelter.
Yeah.
But I've maintained, but it's hard at times,
Even though the storm is now over, it's still the first blizzard that we've experienced in over 30 years. Let us keep the less fortunate in our heart. Thank you, and back to the anchors.
After school, Link Crew will be hosting another fun event for our freshmen. From 3:30 to 5 p.m., there will be multiple game stations, activities, and more. Don't forget to bring your school ID to participate.
Graffiti is one of the most controversial forms of art in our country. Some people consider it to be vandalism that ruins cityscapes, while others consider it to be a beautiful form of expression. To find out more, Maryam and Amish went to Venice Beach.
One of the most prevalent types of art in L.A. is graffiti. Yet this form of self-expression has caused many to question the morality of it. Vandalism in any form is a crime. That is the understanding. Yet we wanted to understand the true meaning behind it. What's the difference between more traditional types of art and graffiti? We came across a graffiti artist who gave us way more insight.
The art form in itself is getting lost because there is a bunch of tagging everywhere, a bunch of stuff that's not really on an artistic level, but it's just more about the vandalism. Right now, graffiti is kind of in a state of quantity over quality. It's a borderline between art and vandalism. This is for my brother who passed away yesterday. Rest in peace. His name is Jeff, but I come from an Islamic family. His name's Al-Ghaffar. Just to have his name up in Venice Beach as a tribute, facing the ocean. It could be a proper way to honor his memory. So yeah, rest in peace to my oldest brother. Yeah.
We also wanted to get a local perspective, so we asked Venice natives their view on this art.
Graffiti is art and it's vandalism. You can't, it's like skating. It's like, what makes a trick at a skate park cool if there's metal coping? It's not. It's against developed humanity. Like, look at all these buildings and stuff. Graffiti is the opposite of that. It's like what you want to do. It's like, it's entropy. Graffiti is entropy, basically.
The whole premise of graffiti is to be a form of rebellion in an eye-catching way. The overall consensus we got from Venice Beach was that graffiti is art, yet at the same time, vandalism. Thank you to everyone who was a part of our story. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Every year, the yearbook team works really hard to give us a beautiful book, full of memories. All of this is possible because of the crew behind the scenes. If you're interested in being a part of the action, the yearbook team is holding applications for next year. Apply today at the QR code down below, and the deadline is Monday, April 10th at midnight. Good luck to all of the applicants.
Netflix has been canceling shows left and right, but one that's staying is Outer Banks. The Pogues returned with their long-awaited third season. It was a wild ride, and Ethan has a lot of opinions. Don't worry, nothing is going to be spoiled. Let's go to Ethan for more about this new season.
With many Netflix shows arising, one that caught many of our eyes was the new Outer Banks Season 3. Going into this new series, I had high expectations, as the past two productions of Outer Banks had been really popular. However, I soon realized that I was completely wrong. The majority of the film focused on finding El Dorado, along with Big John and John B's reconnection. Different from past seasons, Season 3 felt more of a show inspired by The Outsiders and The Goonies, instead of a fun, teen adventure fiction with romance and comedy. I felt that the show focused mostly on finding the gold rather than the undeniable bond between the Pogues. Through most of the show, our main characters were often split up instead of together, solving the mystery of the gold. Although we got to see many new relationships, they didn't fit the plot, and it seemed that Netflix themselves were not only rushing, but forcing them as they came out of nowhere. This production was just an overall letdown compared to the last two seasons. Overall, this new Outer Banks season was mid. I rate it 3 gold crosses out of 5. This has been Ethan Chen, back to our anchors in the studio.
Recently, my backpack has been looking a bit plain, but thankfully, Link Crew is selling you cute pins from March 6th to March 10th for $5 each. You can purchase from any Link Crew member, and now I can rest easily knowing that I'll be showing up to class in style.
In this week's installment of 66 Spaces, Rocco and company made it through a long yet beautiful trail in spite of the horrible weather. Let's check out just what it takes to persevere through this weather.
The Michael D. Antonovich Trail is a 3.9-mile long trail that starts at the San Dimas Avenue trailhead. While it may be pretty lengthy, the actual intensity of it is pretty low, placing it at around a Class 1 trail on the Yosemite Decimal System. If you're not familiar with the system, the Sierra Trading Post has a good entry-level explanation on their website. But, in short, a Class 1 means you'll have a pretty easy time, not needing much more than a good pair of hiking boots and some water. At the trailhead, there's parking for around 10 to 12 cars at a time, with more parking on the shoulder of the roadway if needed. This initial portion of the trail has a relatively steep incline, so definitely be prepared to break a sweat on the way back. As a result of the recent upturn in downpour, you'll notice a lot of greenery along the hike, and for how much rain we've been getting, the mud was more than manageable. Within a couple of minutes, you'll come across the first of several river crossings, which you can get to the other side of by one of two ways. Over this tree, which can be a little bit perilous, or downstream of it through this shallow section with rocks. Once you've made it across, it's more of the same. You'll be surrounded by plenty of lush green trees, all while following along the river. Further down the trail, you'll come across this concrete bridge, and soon thereafter, a guard booth with this sign for the nearby Buddhist temple. You'll cross the river one last time before reaching this big, open parking lot, which is the Valley Center staging area and ending point for this Part 1. As we all know, we've had some pretty stormy weather, something we Californians experience very little of. If you want to avoid a miserable and wet hiking experience, here's some pointers. Footwear is probably the most important thing when it comes to hiking. I always suggest boots made with either real leather or Gore-Tex, in addition to an extra pair of socks. If you're expecting a lot of water, try dubbing your boots with products such as Snow Seal, which should keep your shoes pretty watertight. Also make sure to wear a waterproof outer layer, but don't bundle yourself up too much. You are hiking after all, and you'll build up warmth pretty quickly. The last thing you want is to start soaking your base layers in sweat. That's all we've got time for this week. Tune in next time when we head further down the trail, and remember, Apaches, keep yourselves safe, dry, and happy.
Is it just me or is it getting hot?
I'm sorry, I missed the old Cali weather way too much, so I turned the guys to turn the studio lights all the way up and spray me with a steady mist.
Bit overkill, but you know, as long as you keep your weather over there, I'll be okay.
No promises, man. The sun shines wherever the sun wants to shine.
Not true, but okay.
Whew, I'm starting to get a bit too sweaty. Speaking of sweaty, our sports sure have been up to a bit. Nice checking with Karthik. Hey, how's the weather up there?
Starting to feel some of your heat from over here, guys. Maybe not as much as our sports teams while they're competing, though. This week, we'll be taking a look at the event our boys swim team participated in. But now let's see Reena to show us what happened at Wednesday's track meet.
Thanks, Karthik. On Wednesday, our track and field team competed in their second league meet against John Muir and Hoover High School. Despite the freezing cold temperature, Arcadia dominated the competition. There were some outstanding races such as the 4x1, 200-meter hurdles, the 400, and the 800. Athletes also competed in field events such as pole vault, long jump, high jump, and shot put. The meet ended with an exciting boys 4x4 relay. John Muir's team took the lead in the first half, while our Apaches came back stronger and faster, finishing with a 9-second lead over John Muir's team. Overall, Arcadia ended with a massive win against John Muir and Hoover High School, helping them with their overall ranking in the Pacific League. Great job to our track and field team, and good luck to everyone who's racing at the Rio Hondo Challenge this weekend. Now back to Karthik in the studio.
Great job to our track team, and thanks, Reena. But now, let's look at the Wednesday swim meetup with our update from Sandra.
Behind me, our Apache swimmers are getting ready for their first event in this dual meet against Temple City High School. It was a tough match against Temple City High with super close finishing times. However, our Apache boys showed no sign of slowing down. Winning most of the races but two, the boys took home the win with their crazy speed in both breaststroke and freestyle. On the flip side, our Apache girls had a tougher game, winning just 4 events out of 11 against Temple City Rams. All in all, the boys won by a score of 116 to 55, and the girls short just by 80 to 90. Great job, Apaches, for your outstanding performance today on the first meet of the season. Keep up the good work, and back to Karthik in the studio.
Thanks, Sandra. Before we send it back to Anchor's desk, let's look at the other sports teams that played this week. On Monday, our badminton team destroyed Fountain Valley 20-1. On Tuesday, the boys baseball team beat Claremont with a score of 4-2, and the boys volleyball lost against South Pasadena 2-3. On Wednesday, boys tennis beat LaSalle 17-1. Boys volleyball beat La Canada 3-0. Just yesterday, boys tennis played Burbank and won 11-7. Badminton continued their winning streak against Lakewood with a score of 21-0, and boys volleyball beat Temple City 3-0. Wow, that was a lot of games this week. A lot of wins from our Apaches. Great work, guys, and let's hope they continue to keep this up. However, for now, let's send it back to the hot Anchors.
Thank you, Karthik.
It's getting way too hot. I think I'm reminded enough of what summer felt like.
You know, after feeling it for a while, I'm really starting to enjoy the warmth.
But it's too hot.
Well, as much as we might love the cold and the heat, I guess the best weather will always be in the between.
I guess you're right. Started to stink too.
Oh, yeah. The minute I see you put back on a shirt, I might feel a bit more comfortable.
Okay. Anyways, don't forget to check out our social medias down below.
This has been Ethan.
And this has been Adam.
Stay warm, and we will see you next week, Apaches.